They are a formidable team as well, but FaZe is a little bit higher on that tier list at the moment.
This is where you're hitting like the top tier international list.
But this is great experience. This will only make them better if they take it well, regardless of win or lose.
Yeah, we had that in the previous matchup as well, you know, like it was a possibility, you know, maybe Liquid would have been able to close, but
Speaking
we're going to play
match.
Bank. I actually didn't know we were going to play.
Yeah, this is interesting because FaZe didn't play it during the second half of last season. I'm not sure about the first half, but they definitely didn't play it during the second half. We only had it twice.
Huh.
And one of them was that Team 1 versus a Liquid, which we just had the rematch of, essentially. So, I mean, we know Latin America knows Bank just fine. I don't think that's an issue, but it'll be, you know, that's less VODs as well for Elevate to have reviewed and prepared on, especially without the roster changes for FaZe. What do you guys think? Oh, that's not a surprise.
I mean, look,
that one makes a bit more sense than what we saw, but the way Liquid played in that last matchup, the percentages did make sense.
It just always keeps popping up on the side. Why does this happen to me? I don't know. Why am I such... My vanity sometimes.
It's too much to bear.
Honestly, I am a bear. That is true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will choke myself. And here...
Can we get a petition? Can we get a straw poll real quick?
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a matchup, and we are underway. Bank is our third map of the evening, and I will actually breathe for a second more now. Yeah, honestly, for events, this is why in Japan the second day I opted for that like Indian neck cut shirt instead of this again, because good God, wearing a tight knit shirt up, buttoned up plus a tie is just a recipe for disaster.
What, a Thatcher ban in Latin America?
What?
The third one in a row. This is so unusual. For those who aren't aware, we are not being being sarcastic. It's very, very common now. Habana ban as well, very common. This is the difference between this match and the last match, though.
What would have given it away that we were sarcastic?
You know, the internet doesn't always know, and people don't sometimes join in, and they haven't seen previous matches.
Do you have to put in /S on every single time? Like
I think of it as /safety. I'm just being safe.
Well, here's Echo. This is like the most standard ban phase. I mean, yeah, sure.
So there's two differences between this and the last one. We got Habana instead of Thermite, which is the more normal one, and then Mira instead of Maestro. So we should see those Evil Eyes quite a bit. Echo, either way, though, not getting played. Maverick, of course, still going to be important. Whether Kaedo get played or not, it's up to them, but the IQ actually being used now. We actually had seen not a ton of IQ today, surprisingly. But there's a Kaedo. Yuna, are you actually going to play it? He does play very good Monty, so it would not surprise me at all. I mean, showing it, not great, but wouldn't surprise me. But he might just be threatening it, and he is. He's going to bring out the Thermite. Quite the opposite of Monty, but he's also a very, very good Thermite, especially on this map.
Yeah, he definitely is a player that has just ran Thermite for so long. Yuna is pretty much your hard support for the team. Mav was voted the best player in Brazil, like esports player in general, this year.
Very impressive.
And I think that makes a lot of sense. Mav is someone that definitely has a lot of pedigree in competitive gaming, in games even way before he started playing Rainbow Six or the game even existed.
Yeah.
So this man deserves it. Can we get some easy claps for him? But now he's got to guide FaZe Clan through this season to qualify for the next finals, as of course FaZe Clan made it to Japan.
Yeah.
But they weren't able to make it with their full roster because of visa issues.
Yeah,
they'll be there completely in Canada for SI.
I think their two last-minute subs, though, played quite well.
Those were...
That was for
NIP,
Pajamas.
right?
That was for Ninja Pajamas. That's what I was thinking of.
And it was 9XT that came in for FaZe Clan.
Yeah, that's right.
And 9XT is someone that also, for all of you OGs, you'll remember 9XT.
Yeah, it's been a while. See, it's always good to occasionally check out all the black eye placements. That's the thing, though, is there are so many in this game that you really can have just a nearly infinite variation in how you place those. So, unlike reinforcements where we don't see a ton of dynamics, but Astro already taking down someone playing a little too recklessly here, possibly in Tellers. Astro, good initial kill on the Jaeger.
Yeah, we don't know exactly where that Jaeger was, set himself in, but FaZe Clan definitely in for a very, very great start here early on. Of course, this is an attack downstairs in the basement, and if you start clearing things off, well, you're going to have an easier time, that's for sure. Breaching charges are plenty for Ion. There won't be too necessary. Oh, count your lucky star, Slenda.
Sure, he's working on it. No. Still going to be able to back off from that and just put a little pressure on. Electric Claw, they are all thrown out, so he cannot do anything about this. Not that it would do much anyways, other than a little bit of damage. But he's looking for an opportunity to take a shot. You always expose yourself just a bit here, opening those, and that's why you see a lot of people doing it prone on that particular hatch. It's very, very common.
Just in case there's any utility thrown into them as well. Nitro Cell can really finish you off.
Doesn't feel good.
Yeah, there's a flashbang, second flashbang coming in, and there's ADSs that have been put lower on the blue stairs, so you can use those to your advantage if KDS wants to pull back. But for now, he's going to survive. The hatch is still electrified, and the Maverick is doing his work, cameraman, to try and open things up. All the utility being expended into KDS right now, and he has to fall back at some point. There you go, first gas canister, very good at holding off, but all the ADSs will pretty much be lost. Thermite charge is going to go off here for Yuna. He still has one Texas Dynamite to use.
It's the benefit of being able to bring the Thermite here.
So, KDS shotgun, there's the drone taken away. You're just trying to slow down FaZe. That's pretty good.
It's interesting how the ADSs are placed much further down than what we saw in the last matchup. Thatcher, of course, if he was in play, would make it quite easy to clear all of those. And that is why they are able to last longer. It's just that was too long of a range.
Yeah, there we go. That's the push. Astro finds KDS. It's a 3v5. There's still at least one Nitro Cell in the backhands of that Valkyrie. But Souls has one as well. It's got to be careful. That shield can last, but I don't know if there's anything left for Astro to break it down. Maybe even a grenade if possible. Lenda, what a shot. Takes down Yuro, and there's the impact. They rush right into him. Lenda will get 2 now, as Mav will find 1 kill on Souls. But it's cameraman to take down Lenda. All on Hunter, who's low health, barely alive here with the Elda, as it was not able to stop the rush coming in. The Nitro Cell is even laying on the floor. The Valkyrie wasn't able to do much.
Definitely a bit of a push once they felt like they had the opportunity. You saw it, for example, on the server stairs. As soon as the smoke realized his mistake, he turned around and started running back. Astro capitalized on that. He knows, okay, he's going to be running back. He's not going to be facing me. Now is my opportunity to push him and take him out. And it's things like that absolutely capitalized on. You saw the Buck as well, just super close to the Red Hall wall. As soon as they had the opportunity and they cleared that shield, he pushed right on in. Yeah, they lost a few people in the skirmishes, but not nearly enough to make a difference. I was almost thinking, had we not got a couple picks in there, that it was going to end up a flawless round for FaZe, because they were looking so good on that attack to start with. We'll see CCTV again, though. They're going to try it once more. A little bit of variation.
Attackers need to
I like the Maverick holes on the wall facing towards the red wall, trying to contest towards where the shield was, because it is very effective for taking out utility being thrown, for putting pressure on whoever's playing that hole. You saw the Maverick doing exactly that. And it's also very difficult to hit the Maverick because you've got to shoot into little holes, whereas he's got a whole wide range of area to shoot from, being up close to it like that. So it was a good strategy. We see a lot of that where Mavericks just take advantage of the extra blowtorch to be able to open those angles. And of course, he's going to still use some on hatches, but you only need really 2 of the hatches, and you've got Thermite with 2 breach charges. You can use 1 for the server hatch, which we saw him do. Maverick on the admin hatch in open area, which we saw him do. And then you've got spares on both. 1 to open up for the default plant spot from Yuna on the Thermite, which of course they do. And then 1 to open up the other wall. So there's the one that I'm talking about. The Souls is reinforcing right now. That's the Thermite wall for the default plant spot. And the wall that was directly to his right is the one that Maverick was opening with little holes to be able to shoot through. So a lot of opportunities there with the utility that they were bringing. Worked pretty good. And of course, Mav on that Buck as well doing work. Drone position, very nice. We saw a couple times from Slash when he would go on those bake attacks, especially when he's playing as Nook, just taking advantage of spotting the Maestro.
Oh my God.
And knowing when he's on cams. That's the important thing, is he goes on cams often to peek. You take advantage of that time, especially if he's checking the other cams.
You really have to time it so well, and that's really your game sense and experience. When you're someone that also has spent a lot of time playing that Maestro position yourself, then it's going to be easier for you to counter it. It's kind of, you learn from your own mistakes.
We also saw an interesting angle being used on it, was it yesterday, I believe? A little crack in the garage door itself, kind of in the middle of it, on top of the car, where it like smashed down onto the car.
Is it actually?
It was an interesting angle.
Huh. I actually want to see that now.
It was used pretty well with someone else's bait.
This is great. Combine the IQ with your Maverick, and you can easily take down that Electro Claw. That's smart.
Of course, that depends on its accessibility as a position, but got to clear those ADS. So they got to keep pressure on as well to make sure that whoever's playing the smoke here, in this case KDS, doesn't push up onto them, because of course he's not going to be slowed down by the barbed wire.
Grenade down, and well,
Oh, it takes out Electric Claw.
that's a lot of range. But again, the Electro Claw has a bit of a wider hitbox. Plus, it only has 1 HP coded in the game, like most bits of utility.
Similar to what we talked about with the whole splash damage from the impact tricking.
Exactly.
That was kind of like impact tricky, but it was just a frag grenade instead of impact.
It's an explosion trick. Oh, Astro's come in though. Is there anyone gonna push him? Is that an 870 being used? Oh, that's a bit of a miss. And the ADS is burning off. At some point, you gotta stop. But Mav has got the grenade, and those is well.
Oh, nice
There you
try.
go. Okay. Well, I wanted to say the impacts were.
Shotgun versus shotgun there.
Yeah. Well, Lenta's gonna find one kill for himself onto Ion, but I was just gonna say like. Those impacts from the Zofia were 100% used to burn off the ADSs. Now looking at it in hindsight, and of course the Maverick can insta-tap that Maestro Evil Eye. We're looking at a repeat of the previous round again.
Yeah, the insta-tap on the Evil Eye is the big thing, because otherwise they didn't have utility to take it out.
Bomb located by attackers.
Lenda with the pixel peek. There's Hunter as well to help. He's looking for his own plays, but Mav is going to be the one to win it. He fires in, but Soul is going to win the gunfight. Hunter getting one, but Cameraman already shot down Souls. And it means in a 2v1, they can just retreat and use the hatches to their advantage here. And the attacking side of FaZe Clan. Flashbang, so whatever is remaining. Well, you can use that to your advantage. He checks the hatch very wisely, but FaZe actually did not go up. They didn't even have the time for it. They decided to just sit back and utilize the fact that there's no shotgun on the other side waiting for him. The Elda might be strong, but when you have two...
Yeah, you can only still
it's not
one
that
direction
strong.
at a time.
Yeah, it's not that strong.
Wait till it shoots out of the sides, too, at the same time, somehow. Teller's going to be their secondary side here for Elevate. CCTV just not working out, and they doubled down, but that's enough. No tripling down on it, at least not yet. So far, that was a much closer round, as they managed to eliminate quite a few of the players. It was down to that 2v1, as you mentioned. And that's a good position to be in, but unfortunately it was post-plant, and that's not a great position to be in. 6 picking over to a Kaed here, as they didn't want to show that. They're showing the dock instead, and that makes it look like a CEO hold. It's a little bit of trickery there. Not sure if that's the intention, but that certainly has that effect of making it look like that. As you often are not going to be playing a dock on tellers, or not even necessarily open area, so appreciate the mind games that go into that here. Some good plays have come out from a couple of the players, like Lenda playing pretty good on the main stairs. Done some work, managed to get some kills in some of those rounds. But overall, as a team, they have not seemed to have the cohesion that we see from FaZe. The team play, the coordination, it's a little looser from Elevate. And they'll really have to bring it together to be able to win this, because FaZe are such a strong team.
5 seconds to go.
This is going to be rough just to pick up a few rounds. Potentially. Souls and Hunter, the other two I was talking about, picking up some kills. See if this Kaed's helpful, and I imagine used to hold the back wall of CEO. As there's no Thatcher, it is difficult to get those Electric Claws, so that is probably a smart idea. They do have the Maverick, though, so depending on your placement and depending on IQ's ability to spot those, you could still potentially get rid of them. No, it looks like at least one being used downstairs on the teller's wall.
Deploying drone.
I thought maybe they were going to try and play a little bit more upstairs with some security from the Electric Claws, but no. Teller's wall, though, makes a lot of sense. You don't want them to blow that open with a thermite, but that's going to be, I think, a little bit easier to deal with than the CEO wall. I was talking earlier about entering through CO being safe, and that's what they're going for, is the usual entry up there. But of course, you got to have coverage from a few different areas. You can't just do that solo without team support. They know they got to clear top floor. It's essential for this, and you almost always are going to have at least one player on defense upstairs, oftentimes ready to rotate off if they can, because you don't want to die giving up top floor. But give it up you will eventually. Just a matter of how much time you can burn first. But there's plenty of utility coming their way in the form of grenades and Zofia's lifelines.
Torch ready.
The cameraman walks in. He's trying to do work here. KDS doesn't know where the punishment is going to come from. He actually is trying to, well, get shot from the side. At least this is what Maverick's trying to do. Hunter, though, Good Nitro Cell will connect and will save his teammate. And KDS takes down Astro. Great teamwork here from Elevate. And really, that Nitro Cell from Hunter really is going to save the day for him. Second Nitro won't connect, and that was a bit too slow on the shotgun. Should have given it time to deploy, but FaZe very quick on the response. 2 down.
More than even it up is Hunter's very low on health now, less than a quarter. So FaZe Clan now with the advantage after starting out 2-man down. Were they playing, again, very strong together as a team with those last 3. Will taking a lot of damage, being forced now to rotate off, jumping off the balcony, down into the main lobby, rotating into the hallway here to try and get back into an elevator, and maybe just pray for a little while. There's now 2 players of elevator on low health and only 1 on full. They cannot afford to take unadvantageous engagements.
I'll be honest with you, I've never heard the Ave Maria being played as an elevator song, but in this case, if you're Will, that's definitely something you would love to hear. Mav's taken down any utility he can spot downstairs, and probably an ADS there, shot down, beautifully played by Yuna, but Hunter didn't have many options being solo on HP. He needed to make a move. He thought the wisest one was to engage, put himself in a position that he would not be expected in, but drones exist in this game. And they made short work of him. But there's 15 seconds left, and that position from Lenda can actually do so much work. It already takes down 1. The diffuser set in the back. You gotta pick it up right now, FaZe. Will is trying to watch for this. He's unsure of where the push will be coming from. The diffuser is gonna be set right now, but beautifully done. Mav turns around and smacks Will in the face.
It's a good thing the IQ is a 3-speed to be able to pick up that diffuser and run back in time. Had Buck tried to do that and had the IQ cover, that wouldn't have been the ideal play. Still would have possibly done it in time, but it would have been much tighter trying to get that angle. And unfortunately, Will being on such low health from his earlier engagement just couldn't do a whole lot. All it takes is a single body shot just flicking onto him through the wall there. Not much you can do. They're gonna try CEO for realsies this time. They have the dock. As I was saying, that is a pick 4 upstairs. And they're just like, all right, we're going upstairs. You know we're going upstairs. We're not going to try tellers again. But that was a pretty decent defense to start with. They are going to have a 6 pick, though, to the castle. And that can tease either upstairs. It is used very commonly up at CEO to board up windows. And occasionally, if you want, a doorway. But it's also used very much in open areas. So it doesn't necessarily telegraph which of those 2 you're going to, because that is the 2 sites they have not played yet. But in this case, I don't think it matters too much. There's one of the castle barricades going up that you could see that was on one of the double windows over there. Very commonly also on some of these single windows. You see Hunter reinforcing that one. That's about long angles from rappel. That one's a wooden barricade, of course, because you want to block that, make it harder a little bit at least. And then, of course, choosing another angle to barricade to stop those long angles from the other side of the building, as well as potentially from the front, depending on how tight of an angle you get. And that's what you want to do. You gotta make it hard for them to just shoot you for free from the outside on rappel. As there is going to be people on rappel outside. Most likely on CEO windows, though. These are the ones where they play a little bit safer as long as they control lobby, as we were talking about earlier. Look at that Mav doing some work. Talking about being one of the best players. He's certainly showing it today.
Yep. There's nothing that I can say that would tarnish this man's reputation.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what I mean. That he is just that good. Mav's
untarnishable.
Untarnishable. Mav has definitely been an OG for the whole time, and here he is, continuing on the legacy and the legend in Latin America, and is doing a lot of work, as you can see, in this game. So with the CEO defense, you're wondering, is Elevate going to play someone in the basement? Well, no. This is why IQ was scanning around in there, but I do know that there might be a player somewhere around the tellers area. Yuna's looking for him.
You would have heard those shots very likely.
Yeah, Ion's going to go for drones himself. He sets out, that's a great late round drone. You were expecting someone pushing from ATMs, right? We were talking about this before.
That's the beauty of once they added it, so you could have both drones out at the same time. You can now set up one as a flank drone and then one as a mobile drone in a way you couldn't back when you only had one out at a time.
But did the IQ hear the Jaeger?
Well, like I said, it was very likely to hear shots from drones.
Maybe.
Possibly.
But he wouldn't know where he was
communicated to him.
He's switching between them.
I mean, you do generally get some directional idea, but yeah, the way sound propagates in this game can play some trickery on your ears for sure.
So grenade being primed and
not a terrible one, just slightly off. Still gonna put some fear into his feet.
I think it was on the other side of the wall where it hit.
Yeah, very likely. Looks like.
Yeah, it hit the other side of the wall.
Well, he's still got one in the pocket here. Just
There you
Barely
go.
catching Will, who was just not prepared for the wall suddenly opening wide.
This is great right now from FaZe. They can enter at any point in time. You look at the entirety of that boardroom. The CEO is just so completely demolished.
Yeah, and
it's like a
Yuna's
wasteland.
so good at sneaking these plants in too.
He can still do it. That's very true. Lenda's trying to fight here as he's definitely been the big linchpin for his team. But the soft walls might prove to be ineffective. Oh, Mav taking some damage, but that's MP5 damage, which means he can just shrug it off, basically. There's the head peek, and Mav should be able to spot it, but unfortunately, he can't get a shot. Oh, there's KDS. He's being... he's trying to be a bit of a nuisance, but no smokes are being thrown. It's a bit too late. Yuna's already got the plant down. That double reinforcement is just so terrible right now. Ion and Astro will find a kill each. Souls and KDS the last two alive. And for how long is the question? Yuna in support of Mav will take down one, leaving the Maestro last alive and in trading. And he's going to trade his life off. There you go.
Flawless round for FaZe. 4 in a row now, not 4 flawless rounds in a row. That's a tongue twister. But still.
4 flawless rounds.
Yeah, see, you even just barely finish it.
4 flawless rounds.
I'm going to start using that as a vocal warm-up.
4 flawless...
See? Good vocal warm-up there.
Chat, can we get it? Okay, type it in chat, but also try to say it yourself.
It's a little better than red leather, yellow leather. Which I can still do, but it's rough. It's rough.
I just said... You're
You're so talented.
like a pigeon.
Is that what pigeons sound like to you? Maybe we can keep the sound effects to like gadgets. There we go. Finally.
I'm now just known as the SFX guy in Rainbow Six.
You just change your last name to Foley. I'm Gasson Foley.
Oh boy. Well, at least I know I have a career after this.
Well,
Defenders protect your bombs from being
Don't look at
defused by
me like
attackers.
that.
so CCTV again for the 3rd time. First 2 times didn't work. Well, nothing worked. There are probably pigeons on bank, I imagine. It always does tilt me a little bit when you can see birds in this game and you can't hit them.
Oh my god, okay.
Like house especially.
Okay, I was playing yesterday and it was on Outback. Suddenly a pigeon literally shows up from it like flies through a floor and hits me like
your guardian.
That's just right in front of me. I'm like, yo, where did this come from? This was a bit unexpected.
Well, Easter egg.
10 seconds remaining.
Oh, there's many Easter eggs on that map, right?
5 seconds
There's
remaining.
many Easter eggs on mini maps. Probably some not found because people weren't looking.
Attackers' objective is to locate a
Well,
bomb.
we'll
and
see
defuse it.
again. Hunter probably last alive in the garage for a 3rd time, as he's made quite a pattern of that. And it's not him doing something wrong. It's just he's not able to do a ton from the garage, and they're not usually pushing it. Astro possibly get a chance at it again. Last time he was doing some drone work to see if it was a possibility for him. He's gonna be looking for that again. He does spot Maestro. That's the problem, is there's so many cars to hide your stuff under. It makes it very difficult for you to deal with. If he does approach the front of that garage, though, I will point out that crack to you, but it doesn't look like he wants to go that route. I like the lone office entries. Usually it's fairly secure, and depending on your operator, you can open up some long angles into the hallway as well. Hunter pushed up pretty far, actually, hoping to catch someone early, as he might have even heard the Zofia earlier, but really that just ends up being a tease. It's like, he's just looking for an opportunity. Is there Maestro here? Okay, I'll go elsewhere. Is there not? I would have gone there. And I think that's smart. All it costs you is one drone that actually could be used late round
Exactly.
to identify the Maestro and his positioning when you're getting the plant down.
So it's not like you're sacrificing anything.
No, you're certainly not. In fact, there's very many opportunities to rotate late round, especially for the IQ's 3-speed, as well as the Maverick, who's often forgotten as a 3-speed. Looking around there.
Okay, I guess.
Trying to figure out what to do.
Sure, buddy.
Maybe he's getting bored. KDS going to try this yet again. He's not had the most success on this, but he's certainly going to try it, playing at the top of the server stairs. With a shield and barbed wire, at least. Barbed wire is a nice touch, though, to make sure that they have to get rid of it, otherwise they can't push in quickly. That nade, though, does a good job of probably clearing both, it looks like. Hard to tell sometimes from the debris of the barbed wire, but it does look cleared. Here we go with this nade again. This is a well-practiced nade.
Yeah.
It works well. I'd like to see more people using that.
I don't know if it goes down and then hits or it bounces in between.
I know, I kind of wish we could see both floors at the same time on that, but however it works, it definitely works. It's 2 times he's done it, and that puts pressure now on Will as well down below, but KDS actually finds a kill onto Yuna, and that's the defuse carrier down, and not their only hard breacher, but the one who's going to get the main wall open. That makes their default plant now nigh impossible. So that was a great kill. If you were going to kill anyone before you die, that was the one to do, and he didn't die. He took a little bit of damage. That's of the Kaid with a little bit of scratches. But here comes that flank.
Oh, so close. He gets off at the wrong moment. Few rounds being fired here by the Clyde. He's going to get shot down, but Will's already taken down one. Oh, the turnaround. It does not work, and KDS is ready with a shoddy. FaZe Clan.
Whoa.
They falter. Elevate put a lot of bodies for this gunfight, and they end up winning it out correctly.
Finally, an Elevate round. Only took him 3 times. But I put a lot of that on the success of killing Yuna first and put a lot of pressure on them.
How do they even take him out?
It was the peak with the SMG-11. Maybe so. What happened previously when he lost when he was running backwards is he peeked out onto the Thermite, who was holding a much longer angle farther back towards the kitchen. Probably was playing that same position again to try and dodge the shotgun. This time he wised up and brought the SMG-11 out to the corner to see if he needed to peek someone longer away. Did exactly that because the Thermite thinks he's safe. And he's not as worried about, oh, I need to be alive. So that was a great adaptation by KDS. And then winning that gunfight against the shotgun of the Skeleton Key was just down to timing and maybe even a slight pre-fire.
Yeah, I don't know if it just happened in between shots, right?
Probably.
You still fire very fast with the Skeleton Key.
But there's a slight delay on both guns. A little bit longer, I think, on the pump, but I don't have the timing to know that for sure. But every shotgun has a little bit different timing in terms of it, and the pump is pretty long between. But it's also a very strong shotgun. One of the best in the game, depending on how you use it. It's like the M870, one of the best too, depending on the range you're at. At least we don't have any Sniper 90 level shotguns, with the exception of the Boz G, which is still a sniper, just a different kind. We'll see KDS here on the Mozzie this time. That's probably a good idea to deny some, and also a Pulse. So you're going to be playing CEO, but they're going to have the Pulse down below, along with the Mozzie, who are likely also carrying a C4. You've probably also got Lenda with a C4. So they're all playing down below, where they can start to do some damage to above. Because, of course, that's the site they're going to be guarding. Now, last time they pushed in pretty aggressively from FaZe Clan and were able to clean it up pretty well within the site. And that's what they're hoping to avoid, is that let them, if they get in, C4 the heck out of the floor, and you've got a Pulse to be able to call out where to do that from on Hunter. So we'll see if that works, but it's a good idea. That the Mozzie also going to stop, hopefully, the team of FaZe from getting drones in to find out exactly where that Pulse is positioned. And Mozzie offers himself up as a sacrifice to cameraman, who shoots more than a picture.
Yeah, blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull's throne, as they say. Cameraman is watching. He knows that there's someone around the corner. It's just a question, how long can he stick this position? That's the question.
Well, he doesn't have anything he has to be doing, I don't think, as far as his job goes. He's going for the default cam. That might cost him. Nope, it costs Linda. That's a C4 down, and Pulse smartly does it at just the right time to not take any damage, trying to get the trade, and it's worth it to an extent, but losing 2 C4s to keep 1, not great.
Yeah, you lost the Maverick, and it's definitely not an easy loss to deal with.
But it's not critical either.
Exactly. There's no Mute, there's no Bandit, there's no
far worse damage done to Elevate.
You're going to be pretty happy with the result in the end, right? You can still open up the wall.
Oh, yeah.
All is well when it comes to FaZe Clan.
Absolutely. I mean, Cameraman, a great player, though. You never want to lose him, but Hunter's going to have to do a lot of work to make up for things here and play very smart. Luckily, he can at least identify where people are positioned around him to not make really stupid moves. But at the same time, you know, gunfights have to be won, and the ump is not great in everyone's hands. We have some fantastic players in Pro League with the ump, but it's also a tricky gun to use. Fire rate's not the best. A little bit of a pea shooter, depending on the range as well.
Still pretty nice because of the low recoil, at least
that's the strength. Similar to the MP5.
Round to round, it's just really nice because you can hit headshots faster.
Yeah.
Or more
timing?
Hunter, there you go. You're talking about the UMP dissing that ump.
Nope.
He fires back. Mav is down. That's 2 great players now off the board for FaZe Clan. Souls will get one more, but Astro is looking for the jackpot. Oh, no! The Maestro at the right moment saves himself. And probably the round. Yuna will get 1 kill, but it turns into 1v2. Possible. But with a Nitro Cell and a Pulse downstairs, that's actually way more difficult than you would imagine. The Pulse will have to mess up royally right now. As Yuna turns the corner. should be watched from below. The Maestro close to losing the gunfight. Pistol out, and the Maestro's dead, but Nitro Cell will miss. Oh no! Hunter can still fire in from below, and he does have a spot over his teammate, or his opponent, excuse me. He's going to go for the default plan. That's the big question.
Oh, no! That's all right. He's still in a decent position.
Oh, he's going to be given the information. They can just keep spraying. Go. Did he vault? Yeah, he did vault. Yeah, can't kill him right there. Oh, no, you just can't. You just can't. There you go. Yuna might actually win this round. He takes a bit of damage off of the vault, but it'll go on repel. It'll go probably reverse repel. With the UMP, this is way more difficult. Goes for the runner, but he won't have enough time.
That was, yeah.
Hunter!
That's the definition of an impactless.
Was that even worth it?
No, it's not. He probably actually could have stuck some of the counter.
He can't. There's no way he can.
No, I mean before if he had left it out.
He can't. He can.
Oh man.
Oh, he can. This is gonna be so close. Hunter's close to it. This is why Yuna couldn't get shot. There we go. Pulls it out. 4 seconds left. At 2 now. He's gonna be able to do it. Oh my God, Hunter! Oh, I can't believe it.
That's the play of the day right there.
Oh no! We called him out. We called him out, but he got it.
I'm faster than that. Sonic the Hedgehog racing right back up there. Wow. Well done by Elevate.
Oh no.
Overall, though, the way they played earlier, they did deserve to win that round.
Oh no. That was wise.
Yeah.
I will take it back. And I hope you will as well. We were mistaken. We acknowledge our mistake.
It almost never works. He really just did it so early, the kill on the Yuna. It was just, you know what? He knew what he needed to do. I've got to jump out that window and get that kill. That's
Go. No hesitation.
Step one. If that doesn't buy me enough time, it doesn't buy me enough time, but I'm going to try it. So, you know what? Huge kudos to him. Well played by Hunter. Sides will switch now, though, and we'll see a pulse come out again as a 6th pick by Mav from the castle. So the castle was going to be there to tease a different bomb site, but of course they're going to CCTV. You rarely bring a castle for this bomb site. I don't want to say never because it's not never, but it's certainly rare. So they're just going to tease that they might start CEO or open, but they won't. Not sure if that was really going to change anything for Elevate, as they brought a pretty dynamic lineup. You don't really need to change much. We'll see if Mav does a good job with that pulse playing, I imagine, in Gold Vault. It's not a guarantee. Ion here. Set something up. Trying to be tricky. Trying to get an Electric Claw in a spot that is above a wall, I imagine. That must be above one of the walls. It looks like, is that above the wall right there? I don't know. We need to zoom in a little bit more to see if that was electrified. It is electrified, so that is a great spot. If that's not being used often, it should be in archives. Right above the wall. There's no Thatcher. They're very unlikely to find that. They might have to Maverick it almost just to set it up. But that is fantastic by Ion. Of course, now we all know about it, so use it in ranked.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, it doesn't even take that much coordination to get strat like that.
No, you just got to figure out the spot. And he showed pretty clearly.
I think you put it in the center.
I would imagine, but, you know, just have someone ping for you. You know, just hit a hot ping right there and just throw it on the ping. Either way, though, well done. Obviously, we're like acting like they won the round already here, but that is something that is a bit of a game changer in terms of what they could do with that thermite now, unless they discover or know about that location and can take that room. Of course, they're going to want to push to the top of server stairs, and Yuna's ready for that. Got a smoke canister. It does not have a shield, though. See that crack in the door right there that was kind of bent?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That was the spot. Only works at a certain angle, but it works when it works. That's pretty good. Because you stand on top of the car to take the shot.
So,
all right, here we go. There's the Capitao nearby, throwing the flashbangs first.
He's got it all. I mean, you would imagine the Capitao would use his crossbow once the skylight is open. But Yuna's actually going to fall back, huh? This is definitely not something that we saw from Elevate.
He wants to actually save some of the smokes to counter the plant. Now that the plant's going to be a lot more difficult, they may actually have to walk in through the doorway. And so having the smokes for that actually is a smart choice here. I think he made the right choice because they've already burned a minute and a half either way. Having control of that, if they don't know what to do about that Electric Claw, they might have to blow open the other wall, the one that Lenda was at, just to be able to get in, to go for the plant. Because going through the doorway is super risky.
Yeah.
We'll see what they decide to do, but overall, I think FaZe Clan made some smart choices here.
Yeah, they have the time, so it's definitely
possible. They did take care of the Electric Claw.
There you go.
All right. Well done by Elevate.
Did he see it from the hatch? I think so. You heard the Maverick shooting a bit. Maybe he did see it from the edge and lie down on the floor.
Entirely possible, but it is taken out, and the wall now opened. So now they are set up for the plant. Will has not finished opening this key hatch yet, oddly enough. Doesn't look like he's doing it in a very efficient way either. So maybe he needs to go back to Maverick School for a bit. I believe that's the plot of the new Top Gun, right?
That's exactly it.
I knew it.
Or so I've heard.
Tom Cruise is Maverick.
Highway to the danger zone, and there's a lot of danger here in red. You're gonna inhale a lot of smoke as the Zofia will walk on in. It's gonna keep on firing. Ion will take down one. Is there a Nitro Cell to throw? No, the smokes are already there. There's the Nitro. Souls is down, but Lenda will do some work. But Astro and Ion firing in all cylinders. They'll get one each, and Astro collects them all. Flawless from FaZe Clan in round number 7.
What a just stomp there at the end. They may have slipped on the last couple of attack rounds, but they certainly didn't slip there. C4 actually just barely caught. You saw when the pulse came out to go for the C4 that they got off the fake plant, but it was just in range. The way he threw it so close, it's just enough to down him, and really that was all the pressure they needed, because then they had to go for the pickup. While that pickup was happening, Astro was able to rotate. So while they did have the trump card with the Kite Electric Claw they were hoping to have, it worked out well enough in the end. A lot of good kills coming out, a lot of good peaks, and a flawless round on that defense. A great start to getting closer to match point. All they've got to do is win 2 more rounds, and I don't know if Elevate have a lot of chance of picking up 4 more rounds in a row to even that up. So we'll see a first 6 pick to an IQ there, teasing the Nomad. This is a good way to threaten them to be a little less crazy on their roams, I suppose. Assuming they don't figure out that you were just faking it.
Attackers have located a bomb.
So we'll see how they set this up here. Nothing too unusual in the setup. The Kite Electric Claws, though, interesting choice. Is, you know, teams will opt to bring different operators sometimes to try and stop that wall from being opened, but more often than not, it's likely to get opened, except for if you can impact trick it. That's generally the way you're going to be able to keep that secured. Is more so than batteries, just impact nades are the way to go. So we'll see if they're able to do that.
5 seconds remaining.
Good drone spot there. Does catch the Maestro throwing some barbed wire. 2 of them, in fact, on spiral stairs. We saw a great push-up spiral stairs, I believe, from FaZe earlier. So this could be one of the last rounds here for FaZe if they can just keep it together. Played very smart last round. And this is only their 2nd defense round now. So they're 1 for 1. Hunter a little cautious of players in the lobby, as you should be. KDS looking for any cameras that he might have to spot. Might just be looking for the default one, but either way. He's also got the LMG. This is something Slash does very often, play up on those windows repel with Captal LMG. When he was on Rogue as well as now on LG, he does the same thing.
It's very true. We've been seeing him a lot more IQ nowadays, but regardless, the 249 definitely is.
It's like he's one of those players that pioneered, not necessarily pioneered, but one of the early adopters of the LMG on IQ, but also one of the early adopters of it on Captal as well.
I'm not sure if it was also for Zofia, but definitely.
I don't think he does on that, but it wouldn't surprise me. He likes the LMGs, the ability to spray a lot of bullets, so you control the recoil.
I get it, they do still a lot of damage.
Well, rather than impact trick, he actually wants to go for the C4 long throw over to the wall by the camera, by the default cam. That's likely where you're going to open first. So I appreciate the idea. It's a long angle to hit, but if you time it right with the right intel, let's say they have a black eye out there that's able to call it out, it is likely to get the kill as long as you've practiced that throw. So it seems like a smart approach. Rather than impact trick, you can just kill Thermite. That's my kind of impact trick. Shield here also, as you can see, to protect him from the doorway, but that's not guaranteed protection, especially when he's standing up. Certainly well exposed. Lenda just on the other side of that wall as well. Capital Firebolt's coming out to try and deny some movement.
He can't see him. Oh no, Yuna! Oh, the mistake. KDS will take down Astro as he's down on the floor.
Well, no C4/impact trick now.
Unfortunate. There's one more from Lenda. Yuna is down. The smoke at the wrong moment. And Mav is still trying to fight. He should be able to find this. There we go. Fires at the IQ, but he's still alive. Will only taking a bit of damage. Cameraman will be forced out to support his teammate, but his position will be revealed. Goes out even for the run out. You would never expect any sort of utility being set there. And he finds 1 kill, but his teammate is dead. His position is known. Still has a Nitro Cell, and he's not getting any pings right now on the site. He's going to have to walk on up. Too late to deny the diffuser. And there's Capital Crossbow Bolt thrown out to, well, actually right in the air. Oh. Well, it seems like Elevate are really coming into their own here on the attacking side. It's so odd because in our last game, it was the complete reverse. Teams were popping off on defense, and Cameraman was so little HP. There you go. A bullet from Souls with his name on it.
Well, looks like the stretch to win here. Gonna get a little bit longer for FaZe. A little bit of a sloppy round from the Kaid as well as the Smoke of Yuna. As you said, poor timing. Capital Firebolt well placed as well. Does manage to clean him up. They're gonna try open area for reals. I liked some of the ideas there, but yeah, just they could not keep the Kaid alive. Once he fell, then Yuna was just in a little bit more of a desperate gunfight. I like the idea of fighting the IQ, but they spent 2 people to do it. Maestro firing at the IQ first, then the Valkyrie taking most of the life and damage, making a clutch much more difficult. And in the meantime, Maestro was left alone trying to defend and did not succeed at that. So, see how open area goes if they can have a little bit more patience and time things correctly. You got the CAD, of course, to be able to hit the hatches because you don't want them opening those hatches to be able to get that top-down control.
Need to locate and
but
defuse bombs.
they didn't bring the Maverick, actually. So that's pretty good. They probably didn't think they needed it, but now that is hatches that might not be open, depending on how tricky they are to deal with, the electric claws, but they are likely going to be difficult to open the ones above open area. There are 2 hatches up there. One in the hallway you can see there by Mav, and then one in that stockroom just below. But still, I feel like the spectator's almost been anticipating what we've been looking for today. Whoever it is, if it's someone different, like, it almost sounds like, it seems like they can hear us, and I appreciate that.
It looks like it.
That's all, I just appreciate it.
Now the big question is, yeah, there's mute jammers, okay? And they're the Thatcher band. So overall, good from FaZe Clan.
Yeah,
As you're saying,
good usage.
no Maverick, you know, the hatches are going to stay up. But I think the best thing is you can still use the thermite to open up the hatches.
Yeah.
The question is, are you going to be able to find those mute jammers below?
Well, they were able to find the electric claw when we weren't sure if they were going to be able to, so it's a possibility there.
So here, a combination of the IQ, of course, is going to be pretty important. Using her, it's going to give you a lot of info and preparation.
That will help you find those electric claws.
Caster barricades in.
Yeah.
I think for this site specifically, like open area without castle is just no point.
Yeah, you really need it to be able to, like I said, cut off those long angles from repels. You don't want them getting free kills from outside. But we already have 1 player inside here. Up in CEO. Hunter dealing with a barricaded door. He was hoping was going to be open. Sees a little bit of damage to it as well. A little suspicious on whether or not someone might be peeking that. In the meantime, Linda going to open up a bit of the floor, puts pressure on anyone who might be playing downstairs, and that is going to be Ion and Mav. A lot of flexibility in these rotates, and that's the way you set it up. You need to set up a lot of rotation, open up the open area to be able to play around, as well as you see that drop that Ion just used to be able to rotate downstairs. Gives some accessibility to go for the flank on those server stairs as well if someone starts to try and take it square.
I like that voyeur camera that they have set up upstairs. It's just watching in CEO, and you have complete line of sight over the buck.
Yeah, both of these cameras have a lot of visibility. Fantastic placement.
You can see Yuna switching between his cameras, Evil Eyes, making sure all is well. Of course, one of them is protecting the entry via the barricade, as you can see, directly into the kitchen. Cameraman's just stationed. He has an impact grenade, so if it comes down to a run out, he can immediately go for it, just take a bit of damage, and then, you know, try his luck for the push. But Ion being downstairs is definitely not something you'd be consistently expecting, but you always have a flank drone that's set up to catch anybody rotating up through blue.
Yeah. Assuming that happens here. Ion just hanging out downstairs in CCTV.
He can nitro from below.
If he's got a practiced angle, quite possibly.
If it's timed correctly, then does one of the black guys actually see through there? I think so. There's cameraman.
Hoping someone's just hanging out in the back alley here.
Oh,
He finds one.
Okay, he fires into the Capital, but KDS is still alive. He's barely alive.
That's where the LMG wins.
Oh no, unfortunate. Couple bullets there would have been all that's necessary. The Maestro loses the gunfight with Will getting 2, but Mav with 2 in response as well. The Capital and the Zofia are so late on HP. There's so little time left. Mav even pulling out the Deagle. A single bullet of even. His MPX will be more than enough, and Ion will get the last one on Hunter as he picked himself up as the Zofia. Barely any HP for him to work with, of course. And that's the end of it. FaZe Clan defend open area successfully.
That C4 saved the round.
Maybe, as you mentioned in the prep phase, if there was a Maverick, things would have been different.
Yep, those hatches not being open forced them to play more horizontally. Didn't work out, as you can see.
You know, my question is, did you hear the Capital bolts going off at any point in time?
I don't recall hearing them, no. We might have been looking at the wrong position or something, but yeah, I didn't hear any go off. But again, the Capital might have been just a preparation for a different site that they didn't end up fighting. But as I heard his LMG go off through the window, it seemed to work pretty well. Again, they lost a lot of gunfights, and it was really the C4 from Mav that saved it. Because getting that double kill right there, he was being pressured from a lot of different sides. And with the rate that they were losing gunfights, that could have easily swung heavily to Elevate's way. But at least on the upside, they did a lot of damage in return to those two last players. And that made it pretty easy for them to be able to clean that up at the end. We are definitely on the edge of a potential 7-3 here. Although the way Elevate have been playing, I do feel like there's possibility for a 7-4. But still, I know I'm making it sound like a foregone conclusion, but the way FaZe have been playing, with the exception of the last couple rounds being a bit sloppy,
Attackers have located a bomb.
I think it's very probable that FaZe are able to win. They're going to be able to go back down to CCTV, as now it's been a couple rounds where they did CEO and open area in the meantime. Mav's still up there at 11. Everyone else at 6 or 7. So we need 3 kills from those middle players there to bring it to 7 all around. Got the typical Maestro here. We got 2 setups. One that looked like it might have been a red hallway to look into the site, which is pretty smart. If they go for a smoke plant, you can see right directly in, because a lot of times...
Is it the one on the bars?
No, I think it's on the far side, like looking through the soft wall being opened up. If I saw it correctly, it was just for a moment. But that's a good idea because it makes it a little harder because you have to actually kind of walk into sight to get the angle to shoot it, which exposes you, as opposed to one that's placed on the monitors that you break. That's a little easier to see.
A lot of teams, I've seen a lot of teams just forego that whole putting it on the monitors, and they put it on the bars inside of Red Hallway.
Yeah, I've seen that a bit too.
And that actually is very effective. The arc, the angle that you need to take definitely exposes you as a Zofia or whatever it is to destroy it. So it is an effective Maestro camera, especially if there's an ADS somewhere close up.
Well, the angle that he had it at as well in Red Hallway looked like he could zap quite a bit.
It's true.
When he went in the doorway. The more thing also is being able to see through the smoke. Mav I always like this use of the pulse to check sewers, make sure no one's sneaking in through there. No alligators creeping up.
This is so great. Mav can walk back into gold if he wants to, just like he's doing now, or he can stay in server and support the smoke.
He can also get a lot of intel from the Evil Eyes. Be able to figure out what's going on. Cameraman just going to be playing that garage as usual. They do have the Maverick again, of course, because they were expecting CCTV. He takes a little bit of damage opening that hatch. And then, of course, you're probably going to have them try and clear that Electro Claw so that Thermite can open it, ideally.
Again, 1 round away from victory here, FaZe Clan, and KDS is going to try to push in from sewers. You're talking about the Crocs. Should be 2 players right around the corner here. The barbed wire might give away his position. There you go.
You could be wearing Crocs.
Crocs are the comfy, you know.
Oh, you know, with an initial kill onto Zofia, that's a huge kill. Now those Maestro Evil Eyes likely to stay up.
The Capitao just walks on in, but if he uses his crossbow bolt, it can definitely spell disaster for the smoke sitting solo. He's got a Claymore, and he's walking in so slowly. Turns around the corner, the shotgun right to the face, Yuna. And he's looking for more. He's looking for more. There's one more. He's down on the 4. Triple kill for Yuna, but it won't be able to catch off the 4th one. Souls will end that death streak, but it's a 4v2. FaZe Clan have 2 Nitro cells. They have a Pulse, a Maestro, and a general purpose Jaeger. That looks great for FaZe.
Oh, the taps onto the feet. Not quite enough.
Yeah, there we go. That's the one on the bars.
Oh, that's, yeah. Oh, it's on the bars. Okay.
Flash out.
Flashbang in. Won't do much. Mav still checking. He's timing things. There's little time, and very smart from Souls as he walks in and tries to fight it. Ion is already down. No Nitro can be used. Cameraman gets 1 for his effort, and Astro secures the final kill for FaZe Clan. That's it done. Elevate. They fought back, but FaZe again, with their experience, that's foregone conclusion. 7-3 victory. We have had just relatively one-sided games today, I have to say.
Well, Elevate definitely showed what you'd expect from a new upstart team, which is the ability to win some gunfights. But strategy was just not there at least on par with a team like FaZe. That's definitely a tough team to step up against. A lot of experience in these guys, just a lot of successes under their belt as well. Fantastic players. It's no one's surprise that they won, but I do think Elevate showed some potential there, and I look forward to some of their future matches and